Good morning. I want to do a quick look and a first take on what I think is going to happen middle of next week with this very large storm system. It's going to affect. It's going to form on the East Coast. Question is, does it affect the inland areas or not? Let's take a look at last night's European model. Okay, it brings a nice snow through Vermont this weekend for skiing. And then here comes the storm system developing. It's going to be a piece of energy. It's diving down from Canada. It's going to be hitting the country today. And we have a very active southern stream underneath it, a jet split. So these two disturbances are going to try to combine. And I mentioned this the other day. Look at all the cold air in front of this storm right here. So that's how we know that you have to take this seriously, because storms like to form on boundaries between warm air and cold air. We have a lot of unseasonably cold air ahead of this storm. So now the question is, what's the timing going to be? So I said this the other day as well. Where will these two disturbances interact? Okay, so will they interact late? Will they interact early? And that's going to determine if the East Coast sees a significant winter storm or just gets brushed with a minor event. I really don't think there's going to be a middle ground with this one. I really think it's one extreme or the other. And you can see the European model last night tries to bring some moderate snow into our area and keeps the main storm offshore. But I mean, this storm is, you can't see it there. This goes down to 957 of a low, which is just out of control for a storm, especially in March. That would be a once in a 10 to 20 year event if a storm formed that large. And you know, I find it hard to believe that a storm that big is just going to form out to sea like that. I would think it would form maybe a little bit more to the west, just because the ocean temperature is a little bit warmer right in this area in here. So I would think that's where the storm would want to form, where there's a better baroclinic zone. But we'll see what happens. But just know a major threat is still on the table, and this is what my first thought on is what I think is going to happen. So I have a potential impact area. What that basically means is I think there's legitimate potential we can be impacted now by this system in the pink area. And high potential impact area means I think there's a very high likelihood that this area will be impacted by this storm. That's all I'm going to say for now. I'm not going to go any further than that. I have to look at a little bit more data. I'll probably even get more detailed by tomorrow, because I don't want to wait too long. But right now, after looking at everything the last few days, I think this storm will shift a little bit more to the west based on the ocean temperatures and based on the setup of the trough. And I think all the areas in pink here are in its possible impact zone, and higher probability, higher confidence I have for Cape Cod and eastern Massachusetts. Real quick to show you the ensemble spread now. I keep mentioning ensembles are basically the weather model that is, the inputs are varied to say what if there's an error in the actual data that's going into the model. And this is the European spread. So what I want to show you is look at all these different low pressure centers. So this is showing you all the different runs of the ensemble, and it shows there's a lot of volatility, which means the models are having a little bit of a tough time handling where is this low pressure system going to set up. I mean, for example, one of the members has a 953 millibar low right over ideal spot to crush us with snow, and other members have it way out to sea. So I think, based on looking at the trend of the ensembles, I think the low pressure center ends up being somewhere right in here. Okay, and again, that will give our area a shot at being impacted on a large scale from this system. So that's all I'm going to say for now. Keep checking in maybe tonight, and then especially again tomorrow, and I'll actually start to go into more detail on what I think is going to happen, or if I have to back off on this. But right now, this is my going concern of where I think this storm will impact Tuesday night into Wednesday.